Good morning. Ah, I almost got a nightmare for not mentioning somebody also who's very, very, very important. George Soros, he broke the Bank of England. We need him in Zimbabwe to break the Reserve Bank and help us there with our capital system. George Soros is an important fellow in global politics, perhaps mandated to make the world function properly. So I wonder what he thinks about eating Mnangagwa, and it would be great to learn from him about how he thinks the African country like Zimbabwe should move forward. Another group of people is the Oppenheimers here in South Africa. The Oppenheimers have had the diamond license in Marangi. You see, the problems in Marangi emanated from the fact that the Oppenheimers license expired, and then it was free Mandela for anyone to come in. That's why we have got this Chinese one engine or whatever in the Zimbabwe military. But there is nothing that has come out for the country. I mean, even for the community of Marange, there is just a small little gardening project, which really means nothing compared to the amount of millions that Marange is making every year. Why do I vouch for the Oppenheimers? Look what they are doing in Botswana with the Botswana government. The Oppenheimers run the Botswana diamond company, and they give proceeds to the government. They own it in conjunction with the government. And the government of Botswana receives real money, and they build real schools, real roads, real hospitals, fight HIV/AIDS. And it's a robust country. You don't see Botswana people all over looking for jobs. You used to find Botswana people in Zimbabwe for schooling, because Robert Mugabe had built a robust schooling systems. There's a lot of Tswana kids that were in Bulawayo, Kweru, Harare to school, just going they bring their pullers and pay school fees and buy Zimbabwean goods and then go back to their country back then. But now I think their schooling system is better than the Zimbabwean one. Why am I saying this? I'm just saying that the Oppenheimers have been very good with the Botswana government. All right. So in Zimbabwe, we also have diamonds. They are deeply entrenched in the diamond trade. They are really the big players in global uh, diamond trading networks. So if you are Zimbabwe, you do not want to be engaged in blood diamonds. You need to align yourself with the global order, and so that we can be able to extract financial uh, benefits from the diamond trade. And the diamond profits in Zimbabwe could go a long way in rebuilding the Zimbabwe. Don't tell me that we can't bring the white people back. Here's the thing. So we threw away those white people, then we brought in Chinese friends and the corrupt military generals. What has happened? The situation is worse than before. But the very same people, same white people I'm talking about, like the Oppenheimers, are next door in Botswana doing a great, magnificent job. Now, most of those Zimbabweans who are in Botswana, you know that if you're a Zimbabwean in Botswana, you are in Botswana largely because of the legacy of the Oppenheimers, the Jewish family. And then you are busy with Palestinian flags telling the whole world that you want Jews to be extinct in the world, when the Jewish people themselves are what keeps Botswana alive. And Zimbabweans are flocking into Botswana looking, to be sustained by Jewish excellence. I'm not a fool. When I become president of Zimbabwe, I understand where power and sustenance comes from. I understand that our economy will be robust and excellent if we accept a fact in life, accept to be led. One great tenet of leadership is to accept to be led. You cannot always want to be number one, as if you know everything. Accept the others who are number one in other things and be led by them, and all will be fine with you. We need a Jewish input in the Zimbabwean situation. Without that, okay, the arrogance of our black politicians is going to bring us forward. In the ANC, in the EFF, their arrogance, their stance against Israel is a reason why South Africa is going to go down. South Africa won't go down because the Jewish people hate South Africa, but it goes down when they are neglected and they're thrown out of an economic system. What is left will be vultures, wolves, ravenous wolves, and snakes who know nothing about nation building, have any desire to build anybody, but to build their own stomachs because the comrades must eat. I think I've spoken enough right now. Now, so these two key individuals, um, uh, the Oppenheimer is a family unit or as a business unit is essential to have an input in Zimbabwe, not just only in the diamond industry, but also across the other minerals that we have. Remember, we have got how many 67 different minerals in Zimbabwe. Uh, we need input from big guys like Anglo American, Rio Tinto. The Australian mining industry has really improved a lot. It uses machinery and inputs that are world class and more efficient. We could learn a lot from the Australian mining industry. We could learn a lot from the South African miners as well, South African coal miners, the implants of this world. You see, my idea when it comes to the mining sector is that we do need to establish a mining sector that has got black faces in Zimbabwe. But one way you do that, we do it in partnership with the globally established mining concerns. You don't elbow them out because they are white and Zimbabwe is yours. No, you actually work with them and they will help you to develop strategies and synergies that will work for all of us. You see, Zimbabwe needs to develop synergies with the South African mining industry, with the Australian mining industry, so that we'll be able to uh, like as a cartel, like the oil cartel. They've got OPEC has got a cartel, which is the oil cartel. And if Zimbabwe, South Africa, DRC, Australia, these big mining countries, like maybe through things like the mining indabas, we could actually have some kind of 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 cartel that is able to give us or get us to a position where we get fair pricing and fair treatment in the global commodity market. So I see that integrating the together with the other forces that are already successful is the key ingredient in driving our economy forward, instead of always being uh, um, in fight mode, hating people, and and even going further to lying about people, only to figure out that we ourselves are worse than those whom we describe to be our enemies. All right, there is a reason why God put somebody on top. There is a consistency that I see in 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 the open hammers when it comes to Botswana, South Africa, and also the improvements in the BAE structure of the South African mining industry. I see that these are partners that we can work with going forward. And yeah, so these are the people that we need to get Zimbabwe ahead. ZANU-PF, Mnangagwa, and the Zimbabwe military men are looting the resources of all Zimbabweans dry. They've got no idea of what to do even with the loot that they already have. They do not know how to reinvest even the looted funds into the very same economy that they are looting from. Instead, that money to it goes to sit in a foreign bank account. Okay, you see, that is actually it is a contractionary monetary policy via the back door, because instead of increasing the money supply in the Zimbabwean economy, that money that the generals make, it goes to I don't know where it goes to, Mauritius, or it goes to London, or it goes to offshore bank accounts. It doesn't work for the Zimbabwean economy. You must understand, if someone steals 5 billion from the Zimbabwean economy and invests it back into the Zimbabwean economy, there isn't there is there isn't much of a change. I mean, suffering won't happen because it's just that that 5 billion will be belonging to one person, but it will be working for everyone else. But what happens in Zimbabwe that all the money that they are stealing from the mining industry, it doesn't work in Zimbabwe. At least if they stole that money and borrowed it to the government to build schools, it would be better. But no, they don't do that. They don't do that. Government doesn't issue bonds that these guys buy. I think if these guys were to be asked to buy bonds, buy government bonds, let's have a financial system in Zimbabwe, companies that issue also their debentures and bonds in the stock market. Maybe that money should come back and develop our young entrepreneurs. It doesn't matter what in Maria General, but even if it's Maria General, at least it is building the country. That part is a very key ingredient as well in economic development and fighting poverty. But the generals or ZANU PF people are afraid that if them, I do not know what they are afraid. In fact, one of the things that they are afraid of is being caught. Number two, they are afraid that the money will be stolen because the banking system in Zimbabwe itself steals it exists to extract wealth from the citizenry. So they don't want to bank in the banking system, which they also use to siphon Zimbabwean wealth from. So it's a tailspin of confusion that we really need to just get rid of the whole can. The whole can is rotten and rotten to the core. So no PF must go. All is good.